Kia ora, Robosrants 32, Tock. It seems the clock to Fiat's final demise is counting down. I think it's probably 3, maybe 4 years that I've been aware of the manipulation of the precious metals markets. But there's been others investigating this for 20, maybe 30 years. It's just that the previous US administrations have all lacked the compunction to do anything about it. That goes back to at least Reagan, both Bushes, Clinton, and definitely Obama. They were just very corrupt. They didn't want to look at what was happening here. So when I say that precious metals markets are being manipulated, of course, it's two questions. Prove it, and what does it mean if that is the case? Well, proof, let's look at just yesterday, September the 16th. The US Department of Justice on their own website said, and I'll put the link at the bottom, current and former precious metals traders charged with multi-year market manipulation, racketeering conspiracy. That's the US Department of Justice saying that, and those words are not particularly ambiguous. The precious metal markets, gold and silver, have been and are manipulated. So who's been doing it? Well, a number of players, but let's start with one Michael Nowak. Mr. Nowak is, aside from being a managing director at JP Morgan, he's also on the board of the LBMA, the primary mechanism used to manipulate the price of physical precious metals. And he's just one of the players. I'll put the link for that below as well. So there's enough proof there to show you that the authorities are now chasing these people. The manipulation is real, it has occurred, it is occurring, and it's going to be stopped. So the next part is, well, what does that mean? What's the wider ramifications of precious metals being manipulated? Well, wealth sits inside fiat because people have faith in it. If they lose faith in it, remember, fiat is not backed by gold or silver or anything. It's not backed by anything. It's only backed by faith. If people lose faith in it, they're going to put their wealth somewhere else. And the most obvious place for that wealth to move to is where it's moved to for thousands of years, is into precious metals. So in order to keep fiat looking good, you have to manipulate the price of precious metals down. Now, has the penny dropped yet? What this means, of course, is that when the manipulation comes off, the prices of precious metals are going to go shooting through the roof, and our faith in fiat is going to disappear. And what happens then? Well, cash deposits in the bank, superannuation funds, private or public, hedge funds, these things are all going to vaporize, just disappear like a breeze, gone. And of course, that means the end of the fiat system, and people with their wealth in those sorts of assets, they're going to be wiped out, and they're going to have this intense desire to ignore the problem, to the point that they'll get extremely angry with me because what I'm saying is going to destroy them financially. Not me personally, I'm just saying the circumstances that are coming are going to destroy their wealth, and they're not going to like what they're hearing, so they're going to kick back against me. And one of the first things I'll say is, well, why isn't the mainstream media telling us that, and why aren't our politicians telling us that? Well, that's pretty obvious. Both those groups are paid in fiat. They need fiat to stay in order for them to maintain their positions. They're going to be telling you all is well right up until they ride the same chariot that fiat's on into the abyss. It's all history. It's all going the same way. The only way you're going to get around it is this, if you hedge your fiat wealth with precious metals. I would say silver as opposed to gold. I have a great preference for that. But also cryptocurrencies as well. Although obviously I'm not allowed to give financial advice, so that's what I would do. Whether you want to do it, that's entirely up to you. All right, that's my rant. Have a happy day.